The Logan Power Show. Welcome, everybody.
The Logan Power Show. The Logan Power Show. The Logan Power Show.
He is phenomenal.
The Logan Power Show.
He's here to empower you and impact
The Logan Power Show. The Logan Power Show.
It'll be a great show.
He is phenomenal. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Logan Power Show. That is powerful. That's phenomenal. That is powerful. My name is Calvin Logan. Welcome to the Logan Power Show. That is powerful. That's phenomenal. The Logan Power Show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Logan Power Show. It's me, your host, Calvin Logan, live here at Harvest Point Church here in North Charleston, South Carolina. I got my friend who photobombed the show, Miss Aisha Thurston from Journey of Aisha. How you doing?
It's the Journey with
Aisha.
Come on now. You know, the two things in this business you have to get right. The name and the name.
Yes, man.
But you know what, Calvin? I just want to let you know, we on the Journey with Aisha, we are with you. We got your back. We support you. You all need to continue to listen and watch the Calvin Logan Show. He's got some phenomenally insightful and things going on this show that is going to do a sustainable, positive, make our community better. I read today in my journal that I'm going to the top and I'm going to take you with me.
Definitely. She's going to take you with me. I tell you right now, the journey, it's a great journey. Everyone who watches the Journey with Aisha, it's a blessed show. You listen to it every Thursday, 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune in to her right now. Connect 5 Live. I'm telling you, that's a website to go into. Check her out. She's a blessing. We are here, the Logan Power Show. We got your back.
Appreciate you.
And we want to see things happen. So that's our quick time and day. Tune in again. See us. Thank you so much. We love y'all.
Calvin Logan Show. He's moving up.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Logan Power Show. It's me, your host, Calvin Logan, live here in Harvest Point Church here in North Charleston, South Carolina. Well, I got with me two impactful, phenomenal, blessed pastor, powerful women of God. To my right, Pastor Sabrina Marshall, how you doing?
How you doing, Logan? It's a pleasure to be on the show.
Thank you so much. And to my left, she is a pastor and phenomenal author, and she can definitely get down. Pastor Angela Manning, how you doing?
Thank you. So glad to be here.
Thank you so much. So, Calvin, what we're about to talk about now. Well, hey, these two phenomenal ladies are going to talk about some phenomenal things that they got going on right now. And then also, Pastor Man's going to talk about her great book, so we can dive into that.
Yes.
So, we're going to go to my left first, because that's, my weak side, but it is my strong side also, okay? So we'll talk to Pastor Angela Manning, talk about this great book, When You Lose Everything You Love.
Yes.
When you lose everything you love. So, Pastor Angela Manning, tell us more about this great book that you wrote.
Well, the book is really about my story.
Okay.
Some things I went through in 2012, 2013. When you lose everything you love. My husband of 31 years, died in 2009.
Wow.
And he was the bishop of the church. The church we founded like in 1991.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so he died, and I became the pastor of the church, of course. And then some things happened after he died, and I decided I wanted to move on with my life and to date or have another significant other in my life. A church that I was pastoring and founded just went berserk. They didn't want me to remarry. They wanted me to just stay single. Matter of fact, they even said, we want you to be like Coretta Scott King.
Yeah.
Wow. This
And so, so when I decided to do that, they decided they wanted to take over the church.
Wow.
And so they locked me out of the church that me and my husband founded.
Mega church.
It was the largest African American church
Yes.
in Valdosta, Georgia.
Wow.
They locked us out. Me and my daughter worked at the church. They locked us out. They told me I couldn't sit in the pulpit. I couldn't address the congregation. And so they treated my husband, my new husband. I did remarry, and they treated him really bad. And that took a toll on my marriage. And the marriage didn't last. We only married a year.
Gotcha.
And so they kind of like, it was like a scandal in the city. They told a lot of lies, had it in the paper, all kinds of things. They took all of my personal information and put it out so everybody could know the salary, all of my bills, everything. They tried to make it look like all the money in the church was going to me.
Yeah.
Wow.
And actually that was a lie. Because we had like 8 or 9 employees who were being paid really good.
Okay.
So, but they only put my information out there. And so the story is about all of that I went through, it talks about how my husband and I, Bishop Larry Manning, met and when we were in 8th grade.
Wow.
And how life conspired on up until the time he died, and how he was a Air Force veteran.
Okay.
So he died from a war-related disease,
Gotcha.
which is Lou Gehrig's disease.
Lou Gehrig's, gotcha.
And so he got to the point where I had to really just do everything for him. I had to bathe him, feed him, do everything for him, take care of him. It talks about that, and talks about him dying in the hospital, and what we went through doing that. It just talks about the whole 9 yards, and then it talks about them taking the church, and then it talks about how even though they took the church and took everything, I lost everything that I love: my husband, the children, and the children was the congregation, the bride is the church.
Right.
That's what, and it talks about how I came back after all
Yes.
that. So it was so amazing how God just my last Sunday at the church that I founded, the next Sunday I was in a new church that I founded.
Yes.
So my new church is called Voice of Victory, and so now I am the voice of victory. Yeah, because I can tell how after losing everything I love, how God has restored everything, how God has given me favor, and how things that were not supposed to happen, because of God, that it did happen.
Yes.
God restored everything that I lost. When being married to a veteran, you have all these good benefits.
Yes, that's true.
You have all your health and dental and all this. And I was getting a check, actually, from my husband when he died from his death.
Sure.
And so I lost that check when I remarried.
Yeah, that's the truth.
But this
But
is the
God.
phenomenal thing. Let me show you how God works. One day, after my husband divorced me because he couldn't take all the pressure from what the church was doing and all this kind of stuff, I decided one day, I said, I'm going to the VA. I just tell him, let's talk to him, So I went and told him, I said, listen, I was married to the first veteran for 31 years. I was married to the second veteran for 1 year. I said, now those 31 years ought to count for something. I mean, hey, what did I have to lose? Nothing. I have nothing to lose. So the guy told me, he said, well, Ms. Manning, he said, now you can't, you just lost your check. You just lost it. There's nothing we can do about it. I'm sorry, I said, well, I said, now somebody can do something. So he said, all we can do is resubmit the paperwork. Resubmit the paperwork. Went to the mailbox one day. Here's the yellow envelope from the VA, and I'm nervous at the mailbox, like, oh Lord. So I open it, and the letter said, we have reinstated your check.
Wow.
And that's the government. They're not supposed to do that.
No, they're not supposed to do that.
So somebody, somewhere,
God was working it out.
God worked that thing out.
Yes.
So I got my check back, and I got my benefits back. It said you are eligible for some other benefits. I kept reading, because I lost my health and my dental and all that stuff. So they said, you're eligible for some more benefits. I kept reading, got my health insurance back, my dental insurance back. God just restored it all.
Yes.
Got a new church,
Yes.
great people.
Yes.
God gives me favor everywhere I go. I'm not bragging or boasting, but if you got favor on you, just got it on you.
You got your papers on. Your favorite guy's on you.
And I believe this. I believe that when you're walking in the Word of God and you're being faithful, and you went through hell,
Yes.
and you survived, I think that makes you eligible for favor.
Yes.
You did definitely
And
eligible
so,
for every
and so
yes.
God just restored things back to my life. Actually, I've just started a new business.
Okay.
That I don't think I would have gotten if I hadn't went through what I went through. I just bought an 18,000 square foot building
Okay, go ahead now.
that God just allowed me to it was favor with that.
Sure.
I got that building for $175,000.
Okay.
18,000 square feet.
It was like they were asking for like $300 and some thousand for it. And so just one day somebody called me out of the blue and said, do you still want to buy that building? Are you still looking at the building? I'm like, how you know I'm trying to buy the building? They go, I'm on the board. And if you want the building, we're going to let you have it for $175,000.
Wow.
Got it, went in the bank, never went in the bank before to borrow anything by myself.
Gotcha.
Because, I've been married all my life. And so my husband, he did everything.
Sure.
And so went into the bank, and I told people, when you go somewhere, when you get ready to do something, act like you know. You don't have to know, just act like you know. So I walk in the bank, with my stilettos and my Michael Kors purse, and I just go and sit and, act like I knew what I was doing.
Sure.
But God worked it out, got the loan for the money. Actually, the guy said, Miss Manning, the president of the bank wants to see you, wants to meet you. I said, he does? Who? He said, he says he knows you. I'm like, okay, let me see. He came in, sat down, guy, he said, Miss Manning, he said, I remember your husband, your late husband, when y'all came to borrow the money to build a church. And that was like years ago, and I didn't, so he came and he said, we're gonna lower your interest rate down. We're just gonna give you what you want. And I got the loan with no money down, no nothing.
Okay.
Low payment. I mean, God is he's just been working it out, and he's still working everything out for me. And and my story goes along with what I came up here to do. Came up here to preach about bouncing back. And so tonight, that's what we're going to preach about.
Yes.
How God can restore you. And God told me, he said, you can go through hell. He said, but if you decide not to die in hell, he said, you can come out of hell looking like heaven.
All right.
I think I look pretty good for somebody that's been through hell.
All right.
You look pretty good for us because we haven't done it. I look at where this is what God was telling me. What he did was, for instance, let you know from me, I've been in the military 14 years.
Okay.
I've been in the Marine Corps 8 and the Air Force going my 6th year. I get out in the next 2 years. Me and my wife have been married 10 plus years. I've had my challenges in the military. I'm going through my challenges right now, but I'll tell my testimony later. But what I'm saying is what God did, first thing you had was he restored you, and then he's renewing you, and then he's moving you forward to next things.
Yes.
See, what happened was the time when the church told you to not to be married during that time, they should have been saying, we want my pastor to be in right connection. Because in a pastoral role, this road, you ain't a lot of people want to go with the road with you.
Right.
That's the thing that a lot of people fail to realize. When you're walking this pathway, when God gives you something, or you've been given a vision to be a leader of a great ministry, you want to be the president of the United States, you want to be the lawyer, the CEO, CFO, whoever it is, the process is that what happens for you is that everybody's not going to walk this road with you as well.
Right.
And everyone is not going to be on the same page with you.
Exactly.
I truly believe that your husband that did leave, if he had to weather the storm with you, he probably would have reaped the benefits. But because you was faithful with God during the process, it shows that God took care of you through that entire situation.
Yes.
So that's why you say when you lose everything you love, because you learn to let go and let God.
Yes.
So definitely everyone who's listening, I told you she gonna go to town with you now. She gonna talk about what is about to happen in her life. But let's talk about you, Pastor Sabrina Marshall. Tell us about yourself so that we, the audience, can get a better understanding of who you are, who God made you.
Well, I'm Sabrina Marshall, co-pastor of Trinity Full Gospel Baptist Church, and just to let you know, the dynamic Dr. Angela Manning, who was just speaking, is a vital, instrumental part of my life because I come from a really rough upbringing, and when I first really started to get in church, I wasn't the traditional church girl. I walked into their church with Dr. Angela Manning New Life Ministries with my short skirt on, tight clothes, extremely loud lipstick, and wild hair. And when I walked in the door, most of the ministers' wives, women in the church, grabbed their husbands a little closer because of the way I looked. But what Dr. Manning did is she just loved on me like no one could love on me before. And that was the first time I ever had a woman in leadership just say, you know what, you're gonna be all right. Most of them ran from me because I was a little scary, little violent, little profanity going on. The dress wasn't the best, but it took a woman to come in and love on me and say there is a more excellent way. So what God has done through the love that Dr. Manning has showed me, I've created a nonprofit called Women Celebrating Women. And we've been in existence since 2006. And what that is just showing women that it is okay. It's okay to support each other.
Gotcha.
It's okay to love each other because the world says when we come together, all we do is fight, cuss, and backstab each other. But I've met many great women, from Dr. Manning to Dr. Alice Freeman to Aisha Thurston, who has come in my life and just loved on me, as well as I've given that same love to many women.
Sure.
So what I want to show the world is the best way to be successful is to have another woman to have your back. I love that my husband had my back. Harold T. Marshall is the best husband on the planet to me. But when my friends say, when Dr. Manning or when Aisha or my daughters, Dorothy Marshall or my other spiritual daughter, Keisha, she always say living the single life. But Keisha says, Mom, we got you. That's something totally different.
Sure.
So when we learn to celebrate each other, celebrate our accomplishments, celebrate our downfalls, celebrate those things that we struggle with. And one of the main things that women do is celebrate the truth. Because I found out that women don't want to be truthful with each other because of the fear, especially in the body of Christ. I have this thing called, Logan, with a real you, please stand up. And what that's about, real you out there in television land, can you really be real with who you are? Can you walk in the church and say, hey, I'm a liar, I need help? Can you walk in the church and say, I like to sleep around, I need help? Can you walk in the church and go, I like Brother Johnson, but Brother Johnson's married to Sister Johnson and I can't help? Can you really be honest in church and get the help you need? Because I found that the world is okay. The world will accept you. The world will accept you with your alcohol. The world will accept you with your drugs. But when we walk into the church house and say, I have an issue, I have a problem, I need help, we look at you and say, get out, you heathen. In the church. In the church. Why do we do that in the house of God? When the place we need to. So what Women Celebrate Women has done is made a safe haven for you. Come with your issues, come with your problems. Because what we're gonna do is help you, not make you, help you on the journey of your life, help you come off of drugs, help you get healing from the diseases that are plaguing you, help you become the woman you want to be and were meant to be. Because we're all greater than what we really are. My friend said earlier she didn't want to boast. I tell women, boast all day and night. Boast on, Paul said, I boast in the Lord. Boast on who you are. Something my grandmother said to me years ago. She was a Pontic Indian, and I'm telling you, you can call me, I don't mind. My grandmother said this to me many years ago. She said, baby, whatever you're gonna do, be the best at it. Her exact words, if you're gonna be a hoe, be the best hoe out there. If you're gonna be the businesswoman and the CEO, be the best CEO out there. She said, but whatever you're going to be the best at it. And what I want women to do is to know you're not alone. We have created an organization to where you can come and be your best self. There's no excuses. Whether you've been on welfare, been there, done that, came off of it. Whether you've been out there, been promiscuous, been there, done that, came out of it. Whatever you've done, I'm telling you, it ain't too much I have not done. That's why I know, baby, you can come out of it. The choice is yours. If you want to bounce back, join me tonight at Sanctuary Hall and Gardens in Mount Pleasant. It's right behind the new car dealership they build in Sanctuary Hall and Gardens. Join me at 6 o'clock. Dr. Angela Manning is going to be there speaking. We're going to have the Journey with Aisha. She's going to be there. If you really want to bounce back and get a fresh start, find me. Come see me. We got things to help.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, I told you these are power, impactful women. They'll take up a whole hour here on this stage talking about how good God has been. That is pretty much what I'm trying to tell you. As you look at them, remember, outer appearance does not mean Jack Daniels.
Not.
Just because how you look does not mean everything is working in your life.
That's right.
You could be having a storm and could be looking fantastic.
Yes.
And so I want you to not judge anybody. I want you to get your time, get in contact with this book.
Yes.
Get in contact with these ladies. The information is on the screen, how to get in contact with them. I tell you, everybody, the Logan Power Show, nationwide, worldwide.
Yeah.
We'll have these people back on the show, because I can tell you right now, we're pretty much going to be probably about an hour to dive in to what ladies are really going through, and males are going through also. That's just being real honest with you. I'm having a great time. I just had to sit back and say, man, I must be watching this show from the audience side, because I was like, man, let me just sit here. I don't know if I'm hosting. I'm just gonna watch like she got it. She got it together too. I'm just trying to get my stuff together right now. Let me sit in my seat. Oh, this is church now. What scripture we reading, Pastor? Okay, good. I'm about to stand up and like, thank you, Lord. But that's why I want to thank you again for coming on the show.
My pleasure.
And my prayer to you ladies both is that you're going to change the city. You're going to change the state. You're going to change the world. It's about a kingdom movement.
Yes.
It's not about church.
Yes.
It's about a kingdom movement.
Yes.
And when we get to the point that we focus on the kingdom and not actually just focus on having a building,
Right.
then we will actually know what God has in store for us. So I really want everyone to feel that, understand that these ladies are serious. They are dedicated for what God has in store for them. But that's all the time I got. My name is Calvin Lowe with the Logan Power Show. Live here in Harvest Point Church, North Charleston, South Carolina. Lives are being changed. We will see you on next week.
Hello, everybody. That is powerful. That's phenomenal. That is powerful. My name is Calvin Logan.